So our session today is one of our coffee chat sessions, and I love these because it's a really great way to interact with colleagues as well as with the participants in there. So speaking of our esteemed colleagues, uh, today we are sharing with Dr. Nancy Shehadeh, Dr. Abigail Perkins, Dr. Michelle Vaughan, Dr. Victoria Brown, and you. Michelle will not be able to join us today because her little one is ill today. But I have put a few notes on the page that she shared with us, and I will certainly send the information out after this session. Considering that it is Thanksgiving week, and I know most of the people that are here with us, and I know that have a pretty continual focus on gratitude. But I wanted to really highlight it today, and you'll see it in a couple of places coming up. That we have so much to be thankful for. We absolutely do, and so we are grateful to everyone in our Center for Online and Continuing Education family, and we appreciate everything that you do. So, along that same focus, we are wrapping up another unique semester, and I think that's maybe one of the gratitude items is that we have made it through another unique semester. So our focus for today has to do with success. And I also, some of you probably know that I have a fondness for the six-word memoir type of thing. So I decided to put our primary, our key takeaway into a six-word memoir. Successful students reflect success-focused instruction. And of course, being an educator, I have the option of saying it in way more than six words, but that's the gist of it. That's narrowing it down. And so, what we are going to be doing today is taking a look at the evidence of success. We're going to be looking at it from your view of your student's perspective, as well as the faculty perspective. We have some examples to share with you. And then I'm hoping that by the end of the session, you will have thought of something, a strategy, a tool, or an activity that you want to consider adding into your own teaching. So, with that said, here is our next Slido poll. What is it that provides you with the evidence of your students' success? What are things that they do or say or show you that lets you know that whatever it was you did was successful? And again, this is a QR code and or link on your phone. So yeah, successfully completing the course. Yeah, definitely. That is a big clue. That is a big clue. And between the beginning and that completion, what are some of the other things? Yeah, sharing their experiences, letting you know that something worked, something engagement. Yep, seeing that they're engaged and enjoying the activity. Absolutely. I love that, wanting to learn more. We see it in the little ones, but it's really such a positive thing to see it in our in college age students working on getting their grades set up. That's a great one. Qualitative feedback. Yes, that is actually part of what Dr. Vaughan was sharing with us is the feedback having to do with the feedback. post-class communication on applying what they learned. Wow, absolutely. Quality responses in the discussion. Yes, and learning how to uh, pull those quality responses from them, decreasing cost, and I believe Dr. Perkins is going to be giving us a couple of hints on that. So decreasing cost for instructional materials, and I will let you know that when we send out the information after this session, I will provide you with the responses that came in through the Slido so that you can see what others had to say as well. I am going to, but I'm going to say this is going to stay open until the next Slido comes up, but that's on the next one because now it's the uh, instructor perspective of so what provides you with the feeling that something you've done has been successful, seeing that the students are truly engaged and excited about doing it. Yeah, student participation, which is both of those things are really major right now because, yes, we've all been through a lot over the past going on 2 years, but I think it impacts our students. In a much stronger way. Those of us who are older than these 18 to 22-year-olds have known that we can experience things like that and get through them. And for these kids, this is anecdotal evidence on what happened in their life and as they're moving forward. Yeah, definitely sharing their feedback on how they use what they've learned in class outside of the classroom. These are all beautiful, beautiful answers. And one of the things that I will put on there when I after the class after we're through with this is there's and I don't even know how to describe it, but there's a feeling inside when something that you have tried, particularly if it's something you're trying for a first or second time, and it worked. I love that. On the other hand, I also learn a lot when it doesn't work. So but and in many ways, that's also a facet of success because I look back at it, I reflect on it metacognitively, of course, and realize that okay, if I had tweaked this a little bit, it might have made a difference. So try that way the next time. In our in our perspective of gratitude, I am expressing once again my gratitude for the people who have accepted my invitation to join us today. So it's time to hear from some of our panelists. With that said, Dr. Shehadeh, would you like to share some thoughts with us?
Yes, I would gladly. As I'm sure all of you do the same, we're always trying to think of new ways, innovative ways to assess our students, when it comes to their assessments. And one thing that I tried out that I actually found my students really enjoyed, and I noticed this also with their level of interaction, was this Padlet Flipgrid assignment I had. So I had my students put together a Padlet wall covering a previous pandemic, since my course was a fully online course on public health and pandemics. And then the idea was to make it engaging and attractive. And we had discussed kind of just trying to make it fun. And then once they did that, since we didn't have any live sessions, I set up a Flipgrid, did a little instructional, very short video just showing them how to use the screencast option. I wasn't sure if the students are really everybody's going to really be able to use that tool the way I wanted them to, but they did. They did an excellent job. And they took us through their Padlet wall and why they chose what they chose, and it was a lot of fun, and we all had to, so I wanted everyone to respond to at least one, other classmates' Flipgrid video. So everybody was kind of responding. And I want to say more than half of my class responded to more than the required amount of responses they had to do, which never happens. So to me, that was a big win because just like Judy said, sometimes you try stuff and it's just a big fail, or you try to tweak it and fix it. And this time I was just elated to see that it worked out and the students enjoyed it, and they, kind of mentioned it towards the end. I was really glad with the way it worked out. So I wanted to share that. And I also wanted, if he doesn't mind, because I know he's here,
Yeah.
one of our faculty, which is Professor Kevin Allen, who is also teaching this semester, and he's all about trying new things, and he's been doing a few new, using different teaching practices in his class. And I was just wondering if Kevin, if you wouldn't mind sharing what you've been doing in your course.
First of all, thank you. That's so kind of you. Coming from the person who taught me how to do this in the first place, I can say to you that
He's always too kind.
I will confess, I was really quite unnerved by the experience of teaching 100% um, online without any, physical presence, because I guess I spent a lifetime of being in rooms with people and feeling the engagement. So it was really completely out of my element. And I guess the thing that I realized is that in the classroom there are moments of what I'll call intimacy, and they usually will center around feedback, and kind of a where it really matters. So the first thing I did is I took uh, uh, Nancy's advice by once a week putting forward a little greeting anecdote. For example, today one of my previous class students posted something on LinkedIn about applying the emotional approach to advertising for her job, and the ad went extremely well at her company. So she sent that to me. So what I did is I just did a little video from screencast saying, "You gotta love this," and just it was literally a minute, but it was evidence from other students and just a way of being in their life. The second thing I realized is the most intimate part of this process ultimately is feedback. That's when a lot of sensitivity. So I now give the feedback in a short screencast uh, video. Here's what like I used to judge advertising being in the ad business. I'd say, here's what I loved about this. Here's what I want to see more of. And I must say, the feedback from one particular student said, I felt like I was because she took a course with me live. She said, I felt like I was in class with you. So there's just a few of the things that I think have been helpful. And I suppose the other is the design of the students are presenting the chapters. So rather than me droning on about chapter 12, the assignment is them presenting, and frankly, they're doing a better job of it than I would have, which then gives me to create a module that is more anecdotal storytelling and bringing some color to the topic. So thank you for asking me to share those things. I'm really starting to have fun with it, although I must confess I was really petrified to get underway with this. But hats off again. Thank you so much again, Nancy, to you. I couldn't have done it without you.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. Thank you. One thing, and I've said this to Kevin before, is we all learn from each other. And the practices he's been using in his class, he helps, he gives me ideas to try it out. So it's always nice to talk to other fellow professors and kind of get ideas. It's great.
And that's exactly what this particular venue tries to focus on. But it's also such a valuable piece. I mean, the silos just don't work. The next one I had is Dr. Perkins.
Hello. Thank you everyone for joining. This story that I want to share today with the focus of gratitude is about the applicability and sustainability of open educational resources, OER. You may have heard of them. Many faculty at FAU right here have chosen to adopt or adapt OER. And I have a story about one instance in particular where a faculty took on the year-long endeavor of developing OERs for her instructional materials, meaning these were her text that she adapted. They were free to her students, specifically tailored to the course curriculum, and written with her pedagogical autonomy in these materials. It took a while at the beginning, about a year, and the students really enjoyed the OERs. They are sustainable semester to semester. They can be reused free, and students are saving money. They don't have to pay costly publisher material for new editions, second editions. If there's any minor updates, the faculty member can easily go in and update. So the students are saving money each semester, aggregated as semesters go by. That's an example of the success and the sustainability. And the applicability, 5 of those 10 plus original lab manuals were found to be relevant to become modified and adaptable to another course that was different but related in the same academic domain. And within 2 hours, those 5 selected lab manuals from the original set of 10 were updated, adapted, and modified to then be relevant to the new course curriculum, and a whole new group of students are going to have OERs for their course semester by semester. So OERs are sustainable, they can continue on, and they are easily adaptable. They can be applied to different courses. Sometimes when they are developed with intention and creativity and passion for instruction with student success in mind, they can be quite adaptable and quickly within 2 hours for a whole new course. And it just keeps the domino effect going. So I could go on and on about OERs, and if anyone listening is interested in being an OER trailblazer yourself, there is a previous professional development session. The students continue to save money, like I had mentioned, but also it has been qualitatively reported from several of the faculty who have engaged in OER endeavors that the teaching experience is easier, and students have reported that the student experience is easier from the student perspective. Grades have shown to have lifted for the online courses that have utilized OER as replacement for costly publisher materials, meaning not only are students now paying $0 for their instructional materials, their grades have shown to lift.
You mentioned that updating the material from semester to semester, which pretty much links to what Dr. Allen mentioned about having the students sharing the information from the chapters. So it definitely is a tie-in, and everyone has said things that link into our next one. Did you want to add something, Abby?
Oh, indeed, Professor Allen, what you mentioned about students, I believe, making their own chapters, that is becoming quite a popular trend in OER for reusable learning
Love it.
assessments, and students can make their own OER each semester, and they're creating their own chapters, and it's relevant and updated, and they're engaged in the process, taking ownership of the knowledge because they are creating the knowledge and together. So yes, we all learn from each other, and we all
And
joining the
Grateful
process
for
together.
that. Grateful for that opportunity. Thank you. And almost everyone has mentioned, as I said, Dr. Vaughan was not able to join us today, and but everyone has mentioned pretty much exactly what she had said, and I will read what she posted in the comments, that easily the thing that has led to the most success online has been stopping to ask for feedback from students. This could be a mid-course survey or even debriefing at the end of a Zoom meeting. So we're not waiting until those spots come out at the end of the semester. We're doing it throughout the semester. And any opportunities I provide to honestly gather feedback from my students to help them navigate the course has always yielded more success. And I know she's has done some research on effective feedback, and has a lot, and I've heard that mentioned just about from everyone so far today. So that's great. And our next guest is Dr. Victoria Brown. Would you like to share with us, please?
Yes. So as we started going into COVID, I realized that many of my students were very, very stressed, and they were not being as successful as they had been before. And so I was trying to figure out what I could do to increase their engagement and motivation in my classes so that they could do, obviously be successful and finish the course. And see, if technology courses are not always the easiest because you have to learn material and then apply right away. So there's lots of assignments to get through the course. So what I decided to do was just to implement OER. I had actually it does have OER in it as well. But can you see my screen?
No,
Are you
not
able to
yet.
see this? Not yet. Okay. I guess I have to. I thought I had it shared. Okay. Screen one. Oh, I got it now. Okay. Share. Apparently, there's more steps. There we go. So what I decided to do was include gamification elements inside the course. And to do this, and also to kind of give it a little fun twist on the interface. So the interface is actually an adaptation of the interface that COSI gives us when we go in and have our courses designed. I found a little like gaming pieces that I added. Um, I added a progress bar so they would know how close they are to getting to the end, how far along in the course they're getting. And these were super simple progress bars. I just made them actually in, I think it was in Word, and just copied them into the course. They each have an instructional challenge. I teach in education, so that was very appropriate to make it an instructional challenge. And what that is it's a document that kind of puts the content there. It's a simulation, so it puts the content of what they're learning into a real life situation. So one of the challenges for our pre-teachers is that they don't see themselves as teachers yet, and so they continue to respond as students, and I want them to be teachers. So this is a way of putting them into the classroom through the simulation. Let me minimize that file. I also had the OER comes in. Notice I have instructional challenge, and instead of having a textbook, I have a strategy manual. And the strategy manual is my OER for the chapter in which I write a kind of a book chapter for them exactly on the topic that they're going to be implementing in their project for that week. And then the training manual was the actual how to do the technology. So they have step by step by step by directions. And notice I try to make it as fun as possible, so it wasn't like super boring. And then at the end, I put in it's called addictive grades, in which you want them to strive, not feel like you're taking points away from them, but rather they're earning the points to the grade that they're getting. Now, this was the most difficult piece for me to do, and I'm still playing with it, but trying to give them a visual of so they can set a goal based on the points they're earning. I did this in another class, and I actually had students emailing me, asking me like, now, does this count to the points that I'm going to get? Or I want my A in the class. The other thing I did is incorporated badging. So I'm going to see if I can open this up for you so you can see. I'm going to, try it. I'm going to do, we don't want you to see the names. But anyway, the badging is here, and I created the badges actually in a Word document and just used the little shapes in Word to create these. And then I set up the objectives for each of the badges. And then you can kind of see them here. And then they earn those badges when they complete the assignment. And the first couple of weeks, I didn't quite have it working right. And the students were just emailing me, am I going to get my badge? So they were actually going in and checking and making sure they were getting their badges. And you can actually there's some analytics if you're using Badger. And you can actually see, I don't know if we can see anything because course is a little bit, it's over a year old now. But you can see when they're engaging and earning the badges. And you can see that, right there in the middle of the semester, that's usually when you lose them. This is not when you have them engaged. Usually they're very stressed out in the middle of the semester. And you can see that in the middle of the semester is when they're actually earning the most badges. So I actually was able to get 100% of these students through the class. It's almost unheard of to get 100%. So I was super, super pleased with the way this worked out, and have started to migrate some of my other courses into this format. It takes a little bit of time, I have to admit, but I've gotten many of the components started to build them in to make that successful. So I'm really, really happy about this, and hopefully, this is a great idea for others to share as well. I'm looking at one more thing in the future, and it's how to build an academic escape room. I haven't built one yet, so hopefully I'll do that soon.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Dr. Brown. You've got some really great things going on there. So we're looking forward to hearing more about some of those. Perhaps in a future session, we can delve into some of that a little better.
There's a lot in there, but it is a whole package, but I think you can put some of those elements in with just like the progress bar. I think is very helpful, and thinking about addictive grading instead of subtractive grading.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What a great concept. That in and of itself is extremely powerful for our students. Beautiful. Thank you. Wow, what some ideas we've had. So I have another Slido. Let me check time. I've got a couple more coming up. If there is something that has been a tried and true activity that you have used, and now obviously you're ready to jump in and try some more. But if there's something that you have used and you find very, very beneficial, jump them in there. put them in there so that we can share. And Nancy, I'm assuming you're going to put Flipgrid and Padlet in there for us.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And this will, let me make sure here. This one is going to stay open a little bit. We'll try to come back to it, but I don't want to sell anything. OER simulation, game-based learning, and I believe we're going to be talking more about that soon, right?
Yes, I believe next week is on Level Up through
Yes, gamification. Yep. But I wanted to mention a couple of other things that were brought out in the survey that I sent out, but not with any not with the detail, the level of detail that these people have shared with us. Video lectures and demonstration. Yes, and that is a huge piece. That is a huge piece. So I'm going to again, this will stay open, but my next two slides are just some not some ideas that came up in the survey that I wanted to share with you. Using an intriguing question as an icebreaker or an exit ticket. Flipgrid again is it is one of our favorite. Flipgrid and Padlet both, and both are adaptable for a number of different ways of using them. We also had a suggestion for a 2-minute reflection posted as a video or an audio post with a fun timer. So that intrigues me. I'll have to see if I can find these fun timers. We also had someone mention that they use a group discussion student moderator, excuse me, to identify the common topics and make connections in them and find something unexpected and then post that summary. What a great idea to have the students interacting in the discussion to pull out some important key concepts. As an educator of people who want to become educators, that's a perfect one. And infographics to represent research findings, because reading, and we've all read those, a number of articles, but and being able to see the information in an infographic is a really great way of getting the ideas across. Using a photo essay instead of a standard written essay. Again, another Padlet. This is from a course that I've worked with someone in the history department with, but she's asking them to select something in history and to write a short, put the visual in, because in Padlet we can, and write a short description of the impact of that item. And using Flipgrid, again, another Flipgrid topic, to create a commercial explaining the benefits of a website for colleagues, and Google Earth to create a travelogue. So lots of great ideas. And as I said, I'll be sending this out to everyone. So anything new that you have discovered that you may want to give it a try? You can think about it. You don't have to. Yeah, that's a escape rooms. Additive grading is such a positive approach to it for our students. I love that idea. It's a great way, and particularly where we're talking about an online class where the students, in previous years, I felt like taking an online class isolated them. And it does not have to. It doesn't have to. They can still interact in a really beautiful way. So, yeah, the photo essay. It's an interesting activity, and it works even on serious topics. So it's really cool. I am going to wrap up with going back to what I saw at the beginning as a takeaway. And man, have I seen this in your comments. Successful students absolutely reflect the success focused instruction that they receive. And we're looking at we're looking at some really positive pros here. So thank you. Next week we have Level Up with Gamification, and that will be Dr. Perkins and a couple of people from the department, and anyone else that wants to join in. And then the following week, we will be doing a rubric session. So that said, and you'll get the information about those as they come out regularly. So now here's where I want to really jump in. I want to take us back to our feeling of gratitude, because knowing this group, I know that we all always do focus on things to be grateful for, but especially now during this time of year and after the time we've been through, please jot down anything and everything you can think of that you're grateful for. And I don't have, yeah, family, absolutely. Sharing among colleagues, you're right, absolutely. That's such a strong piece of it. Family, friends. I don't have mine on right now, but looking forward to some good food too. Thank you. That's cool. But it is you who makes our team such a valuable piece. It's what you bring to the table that we are able to make it work for you. Yeah, chocolate. Sure. I love these. I love these. What a great one. So with that, I'm going to technology. Yeah. The good, the bad, and the ugly on technology, right? Resilience. Wow. That has been a key word, I think, over the past year and a half, is the resilience that we have developed, and especially the resilience that our students have developed. Yep. Yes, absolutely. All the healthcare workers and our good health. Oh, this is beautiful. Yep, for sure, for sure. And so with that, I am going to say thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your sharing, because that's really what this is all about, is the sharing with colleagues and being willing to say, I tried this and it worked. How about you trying it? Or I tried this and it didn't work. What do you think I should do? Whichever. Either way. And I truly appreciate everything that each of you has brought to this session today. Thank you so much.